Chronologically, the first oil change occurred during the filming of the first episode, but here we are. I wanted to introduce the project before you guys watched something so cringe as my second oil change and first unassisted oil change. I call this part of the episode, Noob Does Oil Change. The first thing I want to say is, get a funnel. Okay, so I'll try to narrate it better than I performed it. First, set the car in park and raise the car. Put them on jacks. Set the oil draining reservoir under the drain plug. Under the engine there is one, sometimes two pans. The oil pan has the drain plug easily accessible. Something everyone else says and does in videos, but which I did not do, is take the oil cap off. Apparently this relieves pressure buildup in the system. Now that all of that is taken care of and you find the drain plug, unscrew the drain plug. Do it slow enough that when the oil does come out, it scares you, and you drop the drain plug in the oil reservoir. You get 5 points for that. Once that is drained out, take off the oil filter. My dad has this fun flexible vice grip, which helped for loosening the filter. Unscrew it the rest of the way. Comment on how long these threads are. Also, drop the filter in the oil reservoir. Then let that location drain fully. After that, apply oil to the seal of the new filter. While you're at it, put a funnel in the new filter. Wait, put a funnel in... Oh gosh. Well, fill the new oil filter with fresh oil. That's what the other car guys say. Use a funnel when you do this. Use a funnel when you do this. Then, hand tighten the new oil filter. Clean up your mess off camera. Put the drain plug back in after cleaning off the old oil that has fully covered the plug. Then, fill in the specified amount of oil. The owner's manual said 4.2 liters of 5W30, so I chose the high mileage option of that. Use a funnel for this. Stop using cut up water bottles. Or keep doing it. I'm not the boss of you. Wait. I'm you. Put the car down. Take it for a test drive. Noob does oil change over. Whew. Cool. Now let's take care of that engine noise when the engine heats up. By the way, it sounds like this. It's not fun at stoplights. So the first thing I did upon suggestion of the Facebook groups was check for vacuum leaks. To do this, I basically just wiggled on hoses and connections that I could find. I don't know how to check for vacuum leaks. As I was wiggling stuff, the PCV valve just snapped. If it's original, this valve is 25 years old, so that sort of makes sense. Also, it didn't look like it was fully seated, which is why I wiggled it in the first place. I did some engine searching, and a PCV valve helps regulate the flow or gaseousness in the engine, so that might have been the issue. A new one was less than 15 bucks, so replacing the valve and the grommet, that's a fun word, like Wallace and Grommet. Anyway, it was low risk, so to get the new grommet to go in, I lubed it with some new oil from the oil change. There hasn't been an issue at that connection since, but the misfire is still there. So next suggestion. After that, I tried my darndest to clean up the IAC valve with the help of my dad. The idle air control valve controls the amount of air going in while idle. Neat. But the engineers put it underneath the throttle body, and it would be a pain to put back on if successfully taken off. So we cut our losses and sprayed carb cleaner in the throttle body. If the IAC valve was the issue, then the surface buildup should clear away so that a test drive could pinpoint to that location. That didn't help the misfiring, so the next suggestion was the distributor. But there are two options for that job. I could replace the entire distributor for a little less than $170, courtesy of Parts Geek, the cheapest option for that route, or I could go for replacing the distributor cap and rotor for $15, including shipping. While both of those options were still shipping, I bought both so that I had backup should the cheap replacement fail. I checked the spark plugs. When other car channels do this, they usually have new spark plugs at the ready. I did not, so there. Carbon buildup was low, but I got to teach my younger brother a few things about explosions in the engine and what spark plugs actually do. So we put the spark plugs back in and waited for the distributor cap and rotor. To replace the distributor cap, I rehoused the plug wires one at a time. I learned about cylinder firing order this way. That was new for me. But I couldn't replace the rotor as the inner part geometry was smaller. I thought I was just being dumb, so I looked for a replacement rotor at a brick and mortar, and I want to reenact an encounter with the kind of car guy that makes it difficult for learners to get into the hobby. To set the stage, I'm at the counter, looking at the newer part, measuring the inner geometry with my dial calipers. Then this guy asks,
"Is this part an OE direct part or an import part?"
I reply hesitantly, "It's an import part." And this guy from his high horse says,
No, see, this is an OE direct part. It's just a brand. It's the same as the part that's going to come off your car, so it should fit.
First of all, while this is a Ford part, it was engineered by Mazda in Japan. So as far as I know, it's an import part. And from what I could translate from your toxic masculinity, an OE direct part meant from the original equipment manufacturer, which is overseas. So both of those answers would have been correct. Second of all, I'm getting a over 4/100ths of an inch in difference. It doesn't fit on the car. So stop. Anyway, I took apart the new distributor assembly thinking that maybe there was a newer look to the shaft location. Nope. It just had bad part geometry. So I got a newer one for $7, which fit. At the same time, I got a new air filter since to replace the distributor cap and housing, I needed to take the intake and air filter housing out over and over again. After breaking the filter box, then epoxying it, I think I figured out how to do the job repeatedly, or at least how you're supposed to do it. But I'll need a new boot between the mass airflow sensor and the throttle body. Look at me learning names of things. When all was said and done, I took it out for yet another test drive. This time, it felt good. Nothing felt out of nominal while driving and after getting it warmed up. At every stoplight, I would wait and wait for the engine to misfire and sputter, but it wouldn't happen. So, after 2 months and 2 episodes, I finally took care of the problem that was showcased during the test drive. Along the way, I replaced issue points that were present anyway, so I'm not upset about the learning process. There was only one time where I broke the hose quick disconnect unnecessarily, but that was a cheap fix. This car is frustrating, but I'm starting to like working on it more and more, and driving it is so much more fun. There's still several things I'd like to do to the car. Most of them, all of them cosmetic, but you'll have to wait and see what the results look like. Next episode, I'll fix some broken components, try hunting down some electrical noise, and finally cleaning the car. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this, then check out episodes 1 of both my Ford Pro project and my Ford Bronco project. I'll probably put that on this side. If you want to leave a comment, do so. If you feel sorely compelled to do that, then I obviously want to hear from you. Lastly, subscribe. Okay, bye!